guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are playing some more Beacon Pines. We were left off chapter 6. Nat was telling us to head west through Weepwood, I believe. Well, he told Iggy, not us. We are Luca, technically.
The source.
Chapter 6, the source.
Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived.
Oh, interesting.
He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more.
Yeah, who exactly is he, though? Like, I'm surprised we didn't ask more questions.
As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured.
Yeah.
Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies.
Uh-huh.
The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy.
They were.
It all seemed to point to perennial harvest.
Obviously.
But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know.
Was that who Nat was? How to get home? If his dad
Luca
was
stopped dead in his tracks.
Oh, right, because this means that A, the tree has been killed, and B, he's been going to a fake grave of his father.
The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth. He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow. His numb hands hit something hard. A headstone.
So sad.
A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
You're here. All this time, I thought I was visiting you. But you've been here, alone, in the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. They ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply, just snow-covered silence.
Well, if a reply came from the grave, I think Luca would be having a mental breakdown. Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find ya, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree, Iggy. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
Is it Kerr? We gotta hide. It's either Kerr, the clipboards, or maybe even Nuncreed. 259K. Fall off, distance still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? That's the grave of someone with a family. The people who loved them will never know the truth. The truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey! Don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah. Come on. It's almost lunchtime. Okay, what is with that walk? Weirdo. So they think they're changing the world. Here I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses are literally dancing. These dinguses are literally out here dancing on graves.
Luca stuttered through heaving sobs.
It's hard not to feel bad for Luca. I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some advice.
Iggy gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Hey! Who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow crying like some pushover. Who you helping? Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luke Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at you acting like a horse's ass, I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah. Kerr and his merry little band of clipboards pulled off this switcheroo for a reason, right? Nate mentioned something about a source.
Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
What's at the source? Must be awfully valuable to perennial harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to their precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. And if it's too big to smash...
Iggy flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad. I promise. Let's do this. Locate the source. Seems like a bad idea, but I'm in. It can get awfully cold out there in the woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rollo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh, heavens, no. Do I seem like a killer to you?
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Aw, shucks. Now that hurts my feelings. Screw that guy. So, how did they find, like, they duplicated a town, right? But, like, how did they get the lake and everything? Just seems like unrealistic. I mean, technically, I guess this whole game is unrealistic, but you know what I mean? Like, even in fantasy, there has to be, like, some rules that can't be broken. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that? Long story. So a few years back, I came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they give kids. The good stuff. So why did you bury it under a tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rollo were doing chores at Rollo's chicken coop, and you guys pissed me off for some reason or another.
Luca rolled his eyes with
Oh
realization.
God, flaming chicken coop, isn't it? No, you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
Yeah. I just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks, so I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop. I prefer to think of it as an incinerary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the look on ye faces. Rollo got grounded for months, which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried him under that tree. But when I came back for him later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found them and tossed
Iggy
them.
triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. Well, now we got fireworks, so we can freeze everybody by blowing up the source. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who is in way over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I was always partial to Hank Atomic himself. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare for blast-off, loser. Okay, well, we're gonna blow up Kerr. See, I feel like this is just a bad idea. Crooked. Just like this whole stinking place. What else will we find? Can we go over here? No. I don't want to miss anything. Although I feel like I probably have already. We're just gonna blow up the source. I do believe it was a bad idea, but okay.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with the Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Okay. Echo. Echo! 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 Whoa. I can see why they wanted to move us all out of town. But why would they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. This is the source? It's a dang hole! How do we smash a hole? Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Kerr. Where's Rollo? I wasn't lying before. He's safe. Well, safer than the two of you are, at least. Drats. It's cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
It really is something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source where they collect the unrefined,
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. Fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh heavens, no. My role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Complications? Like us? You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happens to be a lead in the role of a lifetime. And you happen to be extras, ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Your smile's not gonna be so winning after we're done with you. Now, boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
What are the clipboards gonna come? Scene change. There, that's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
Stop. Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you. Regret is one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole? Nothing. Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I'm an exceptional liar. That's far enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool. Call off your goons. What's he gonna do?
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. You all can head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here. Scene change.
Sighed into the frigid air.
It's just us now, Iggy. You can put that down. What? Like
With
this?
a nonchalant click, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you did tell him to put it down. And everyone's frozen? Ooh. Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca.
Oh no.
Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side.
Luca, save
Luca
him!
dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped.
Save him, Luca.
His grip was made precarious
Kerr
by
in
the
the
cold,
face.
wet snow.
If they kick Kerr in the face, let go of the fireworks, they might be able to get away.
He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child? What have you done? I'm pretty sure you're the reckless one here, Kerr. Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. What channel do I use? It doesn't make a damn difference. They're always listening. If you do that, the clipboards will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way to get out of this is if Kerr's out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Go, Iggy. Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go? What, are you guys kidding me?
Mr. Kerr gasped with instant.
Long life? What is he, like 20? I'll have you know, I can still play 25. So how old are you really? You should have heard me sing the part of Phileas Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Dum-dum. Dum-dum. Wow, can you believe this guy?
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Kerr, just let go. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Look, Luca. Luca, look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
Come on, Luca. Just pull him up. You aren't going to kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Kerr. Iggy,
Luca
no!
felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's your only way out of this mess. Two birds with one stone. It makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in packs.
Calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do
Iggy's
this.
voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
I don't think Luca should let this happen. Let me do the right thing for once. Luca had no choice but to. Do we refuse or accept? Let's accept his help first. I feel like that's going to be the bad idea.
But to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good. Poor Iggy.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
But no blow up? Oh, there we go. Ooh, a fireworks show and then everything freezes, right? Hell of a goodbye, Iggy. Oh, Nat, hi. You were there the whole time. Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Curious. He didn't step back. Ah, but of course. Those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempus liquid mine is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold, and the fireworks make the whole freeze over. That's one way to put it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
Yeah, don't we? It will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been, in my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn. You are going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny.
I'm sorry, but I thought that they said that if you head west, you'd go to the makeshift Beacon Pines, which wouldn't that be where he knows everybody?
To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
That's a joke, right?
Revenge served cold. Second time's a charm? Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels.
Okay.
Let's go back and find something more definitive.
If you say so. So in that ending, we let them go, and it technically did get us an ending. I guess all of them technically have us an ending. The only thing we can do... Oh, we can go back and hum, but let's just see what would happen if we were to refuse his help.
Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket. A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress.
So, is this also just a bad ending?
I'll put in a
It's
good
a bad
word for you with the
branch.
founder. Take them away. A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face. The end. I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
Yeah, maybe. But regardless, it wasn't a good ending. So I guess we're gonna go here, and when Grandma looks at us, we're gonna hum for some reason. Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed as if to give him the stage, and in the stillness he began to hum.
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind, the only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother.
Aww.
Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud.
Is this the humming? Luca has a different voice than I pictured.
Gran lowered the torch, listening closely.
Uh-oh. Is she still gonna drop it?
As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation.
But if she's not really Grant, who is this lady?
The loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note.
Okay, but like, we still don't trust Nun Creed, right? Okay. This is enough humming, I feel like.
Luca lifted his head in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
Okay, so who is this lady? How do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Oh, are you really his mother? But like, you touch the age stuff? Oh my god, that makes so much sense. Buckaroo? The only people who called me that are Mom and your mother.
Luca blinked through
Dad and your
watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees.
So that's his mother. That makes so
Something about her
much.
was undeniably his mother, only smaller, older, changed.
Mom? That's right, Buckaroo. Mom!
Luca sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
That's so sad. Did Nun Creed know? Eleanor? I'm guessing not. I thought you were gone. You should have known I would never abandon my
Eleanor
son.
looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
Oh, you would just permanently scar him for life. That's right. How? You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you'd have pieced it together by now. You were exposed. Mom, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luca. Why did you lie to me? It tore me up, Luca, but I did it to keep you safe. I thought getting answers would help us both move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. Until perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. And they don't care who gets hurt in the process. Then, what do? We have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now. There's a better way to stop perennial harvest. The cold, hard truth.
Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash. Not catch. Crash. Although you were all invited. Just saying. So does Mr. Tulliver know that she's Eleanor? I guess so. You don't understand. He always wins.
Chapter
Sharper
9.
Valentine's not really dead, is he? That's what my takeaway from all of this has been.
The devil you know.
Is better than the devil you don't. Got it.
7 months ago, Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineer. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant.
Fun times.
It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base.
Okay.
She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers.
Is she trying to figure out how her
They
husband
were
died?
experiment reports on something called Tempest Liquamen. There were dozens of them. Every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
Okay. And this is what change is all about. Look at us. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. The 4 pillars, guys. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? This man is a liar. What? Excuse me? I will not. Hit him with the cane. This town has a dangerous secret and perennial harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. You aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. It's absurd and just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean this place up. We just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated, Miss Hartford, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you too. You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You sniving little worm. This is growing tiresome. A little help, please. Don't you all see? This festival is a sham. An excuse to have the whole town gather in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. See, when you say you don't have proof instead of I didn't do that, it makes me think you did it, Kerr. I am the proof. I'm Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky as the dickens? It's too late, though, I'm assuming. We all know Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. And now this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about this disruption. My associate will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable so that she can get the help she needs. She's not the one who's disturbed. You two-timing clown. Nuncreed's gonna save the day. You all know there's something wrong with this town. Where's Tulliver? Do I see Tulliver in the crowd? I do not. Seriously. But I do see the diner lady. But where the hell is Tulliver? It was just easier to look the other way. The truth is, you're... Oh my god, Solomon is Sharper Valentine? That's quite enough, Mr. Creed.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
Because if someone can grow older, then he can obviously make people younger. So he made himself younger. Yes, sir. Take them away. No, I want them to see this. Ah, the ever-tempestuous Eleanor Van Horn. You've been quite the thorn in my side. Like a weed that's burrowed in where it doesn't belong. I must confess, you look dreadful.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Consider yourself in rare company. You've managed to pull one over on me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disturb our little party. But alas, I expected something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter, your failures are yours to bear. Mr. Kerr. Yes, sir. It's a shame it was cut short, but I thank you for that rousing warranty. I will take it from here. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. You have done quality work for me, William. You can look forward to the recompense we agreed upon.
Kerr gave a bow of deference.
Founder, you are most generous.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense with... Thankfully, we can... Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents.
Is he gonna turn into Sharper Valentine the Old?
A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Does this mean that his Van Horn's father's not really dead? That looks uncomfortable.
Horror gripped the crowd.
He looks
This
evil.
is a story about change.
What? No. Ah, so you didn't see that coming? Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. This festival was a ruse. I wanted you all to witness my glorious return with your own eyes. What does everyone look? Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This is a celebration, people. Maybe it would help if we set the mood. Mr. Kerr, be a dear and reveal the sign. Sharper Valentine Festival. Ha! Wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious bastard. Malicious. I'm glad you're back so I can tell you to your face. You destroyed this town. We ain't gonna let you get away with it again. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr.
William
Kerr.
Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
You coward! Does anyone else have something to contribute?
A helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools. You people should be celebrating my return. You're clearly lost without me. And that leads me nicely to my children. Daddy? I gave you both the greatest gift a parent can give, the opportunity to prove yourselves in my absence. Squandered. To say I am disappointed would be an understatement. But Silence, Augustus. An adult is speaking. I don't know which is worse, a son who is completely hopeless, or a daughter with such potential who inevitably lets me down. Harris, you failed me with admirable consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, I have been wasting time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs a legacy when you can just live forever? But what about... It's all right, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffer from a complete lack of imagination. There's just no helping it. Now then, where is Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? Ah, there he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. I think you've said enough. Nonsense! The people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. I only did what I did because he left me no choice. You always had a choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter, cheer up. You are about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor, desperate to recapture his youth? He played his part, and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. Well, those who haven't already fittered away my goodwill. Beacon Pines is mine again, and I am willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty. Are you saying William Kerr was never in charge of Perennial Harvest? Ha! You think that puffed up blank skater could have accomplished all of this? Dawn, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
You see, I needed a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrated my return. Someone to misdirect, fly, and bilk the town for a spell. So I invented William Kerr. Take a bow, you've earned
Mr.
it.
Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Jackass. Patrick C. Montague, there has been extraordinaire at your service. founder, I just want to thank you again for the opportunity. It truly was the role of a lifetime. Wait, so this Bill Kerr was a patsy the whole time? Now that your secret is out in the open, what's to stop this town from rising up against you? Oh, that's the delicious part. Fear. Thanks to our clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town fears most. And I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of line. The choice is simple. I'm not afraid of you. Ha! The young hero. I've kept a keen eye on you, boy. You and your friends made a habit of disturbing my plans. What a pity. If things would have gone a bit differently, you might have had your moment of triumph. But that's fate for you. You can't do this. Oh, but I can. I have won. Never underestimate what a great man can do given time. And now, time is my plaything. Perhaps the most expensive thing I've ever bought, but well worth it. Ha!
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Enough chit-chat. Let's get to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous. A secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer. The end.
So eventually does the whole world freeze over then?
This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right?
Yep.
We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing.
No shit. How do we just take Solomon? Like, just kidnap him?
Let's see.
So, let's see. It looks like it can grow up from here and up maybe one more from here, right? But other than that, it looks like one more from this side and then maybe like 2 or 3 from this side, maybe? I don't know. I am going to end this episode off here. But next time, I don't know if we'll start with Malice or Malice, because that's the only one. But I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you are enjoying. Bye-bye.